Hello and welcome to our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC for Gold Learning. Well, welcome everyone. I have the pleasure of sitting down with Dr. Monica Williams today, and she is going to be speaking at our upcoming Gold Perinatal Online Conference as part of our Trauma Informed Care add-on package. Welcome, Monica. It's lovely to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I know that I can see on the screen here, as can our delegates, microaggressions and racial trauma during childbirth, an extremely important topic that we're going to dive into. But perhaps you can introduce yourself, first of all, and tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional journey.
Right. So I am an associate professor at the University of Connecticut, and one of my major interests is minority mental health. In particular, I study the mental health of African Americans and other disadvantaged groups and barriers to care. And so, one of the things we find is that differences in how people of color experience the healthcare system and how sometimes they're treated within that system can really contribute to problems and lack of good care. And so that's really kind of one of the important things that I want to bring to this.
Well, it's wonderful that you're giving a voice to this because I still see and hear many people discuss this and wonder how could there be a difference. And I think that, we know that there is within the field, we know that there is, Monica, but there is still plenty of people asking this question. So bringing light to this and studying it, of course, giving it a voice is extremely important. And I know for sure you're going to be sharing lots about it. But perhaps you could tell us a little bit about how and why you personally became connected to this topic and when you first became interested in it.
Sure. Well, I think I have always had an interest in childbirth and reproductive issues. Part of that as a mother and having been through the whole medical system surrounding prenatal care and childbirth. I have, I think, a perspective on it from both ends as a researcher and as a patient. And I think that has made this interesting for me as well, and one of the reasons why this continues to be an important topic for me.
Excellent. Yeah, it's good to hear too that, of course, having that personal connection, I would think makes a difference too. And now that you're connected in research as well, of course, that just propels you further forward to want to keep studying it. So again, kudos to you for continuing on this journey at a time where we really need to be making a difference. And we're seeing it a lot in the news. So I think you would agree that this is something that, we need to keep speaking of within the health field, especially the perinatal field.
Absolutely. We have, so many important problems in this area that we actually, I believe, have the ability, the technology, the wisdom, the resources to correct if we put our minds to it and our will to it.
Absolutely. And I think that's why the perinatal conferences, the Gold Perinatal Conference, it carries so much value for those of us that study and are advocates within the field. And again, being part of this trauma informed care add-on package, where people can just draw their attention to what's happening in this particular area. Just is a great way, really, I think, just to dive so much deeper into it and get the tools that we all crave and want. And again, even looking at policy and what's happening in our own hospitals, facilities, communities will bring light, once we've heard more from you, of course. So speaking of that, perhaps you'd like to share a little bit about what you are going to be talking about and maybe what you're hoping that the delegates will take away from your presentation.
Sure. So I am going to be talking about, again, some of the ways that people of color may feel marginalized or left out of the healthcare system, and then what we can do as clinicians to help them feel welcome and included. And I think a lot of us don't realize that oftentimes it's the little things that make a big difference. And it's not necessarily all the high technology or impressive education that makes a big difference to the lives of the women we work with. It's really their sense of knowing and believing that we care. And I think that's something that all of us have, or we wouldn't be in the healthcare profession in the first place. And I think
Right.
sometimes it's just a matter of being conscious enough to make sure that that message is transmitted to our patients.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you so much, Monica, for just sharing about yourself today and a little bit more about your presentation, which is titled Microaggressions and Racial Trauma During Childbirth. Really looking forward to hearing more and you providing some more insight and, of course, hear about your research as well. That will be on our Gold Perinatal website. So you can go to goldperinatal.com. Join us for our Gold Perinatal 2017 conference, which starts on October 2nd. You will be able to listen to Monica's recording, which is going to be part of the Trauma Informed Care add-on package as well. Thank you again, Monica, for being with us here today.
You are very welcome.
And thank you again for our listening audience. Bye bye for now, everyone.